What's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Hopefully, you're multitasking. If you're a Dodger fan, you should be multitasking right now. But on the other side of the intro, we are going to talk about the wonderful win Friday against University High School, and then we're also going to preview our final game of the season against Hamilton, our senior night. So stick around. Coach Smith is on the other side as well. So I'm Mr. Riley, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Pali Football.
Hey, win on me, win on three, ready, 1, 2, 3. Win! Oh, yeah! Stop playing with a beat! 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 Stop playing with a beat!
Some call it the gridiron.
Nice route, way to skim it.
Others, 100 yards of pain.
Too much.
We just like to call it football.
Football.
With Facebook James.
Football, baby.
Football, baby, but right now it's about baseball. Dodgers just scored another run, so it's 4-0 here. Coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. And yes, we're about to turn up in LA, especially if the Dodgers go ahead and get this game 3. In any event, man, welcome to the show. It's a wonderful night here, wonderful Monday. We call it Mindful Monday in my classroom. So happy to be here. Happy to produce another episode of This Week in Pali Football. So as you can tell, my voice has gotten a little bit better. It was crazy on Friday. By the end of the game, guys, I did not have a voice. I was just busy typing in some of the stats and comments that I wanted to make probably the last quarter of the game. But we're here. The voice is on the mend. It's probably right at, I told my coworkers today at school, about 60%. So hopefully as we get closer to game time on Friday, it'll be a lot better. So let's go ahead and boost the gain up a little bit. But yeah, it was a wonderful game that we had against University High School. We won 56-14. And so, and I heard the JV won as well. There's a little altercation at the end of the JV game from what I understand, but we were able to get into Fort Knox University High School. Man, they had that thing on lockdown. So, again, we came out with a W, and that's the only thing that we really wanted. We wanted to make sure our boys were healthy, and we got the W. So that's all that matters. And so we have, we have Coach Smith on the other side. Let's go ahead and bring him in real quick, and we'll ask him some baseball stuff too. So let's go ahead. Coach Smith, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for joining us. I know we're both watching Game 3, which leads me to my first question. What's your favorite baseball team, man?
Oh, Dodgers. Been a Dodger fan since I can remember. I was a Raider fan first, then a Laker fan. Well, probably actually a Dodger fan first, then a Laker fan.
Okay.
So I've been all three since I can literally remember.
Yeah, I haven't even tuned in. I know we had a historical night or historic night with Bronny and LeBron playing a couple of nights ago. But you know what? I'm not into the Lakers as of yet because the Dodgers are playing. That's my favorite, baseball team. And, we probably went to the games, as a young child. I remember going with some of my friends. His grandfather, took me and had wonderful times. Now, let me ask you, who is your favorite baseball player?
Right now, Mookie Betts. Since he came over from the Red Sox, he's been my favorite player, and I followed him when he was there, and I loved his game and MVP, could play multiple positions. So when we got him, I was excited, and obviously he's been doing well for the Dodgers. So it's probably the best pickup we've had in 30 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and then, you forget about your boy. You forget about the $700 million man. That dude.
Well, no. Yeah, I forgot about him. But since we got Mookie first, but yeah, Ohtani since we got Mookie, definitely he's been a huge help. And the Angels didn't know what to do with him. You got Mike Trout and Otani, on the same team and they haven't made the playoffs.
That's
He
crazy.
deserved to be a Dodger.
Absolutely, and it would be crazy if we can get Mike Trout over here too, man. Because that dude over there, I mean, he's been a baller ever since he's been in the
Right.
league, and he just hasn't been able to. Well, the
Yeah.
Angels, I should
Right.
say, they haven't been able to produce. So
Yeah.
if you're watching Mike Trout, come on over. Andrew Friedman and the rest of you guys, hey, make it happen. Let's go ahead and get Mike Trout over here to the Dodgers. Okay, so while we're talking about baseball. What is your favorite baseball memory?
Oh, Kirk Gibson, 1988. I literally remember exactly what I was doing, where I was, how I celebrated. I remember the moment before he hit it, what I did afterwards. Like that was my favorite Dodger moment of all time. And then I didn't get a chance to see the Freeman home run because I was at the game. We're at the game, but that definitely would have been my second favorite moment if I had saw that. But definitely Kirk Gibson, 1988.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think I was 9 years. I was 9 years old at the time, but I remember every moment of that.
No, and just the story behind, that classic, home run. I mean, he was in the tunnel. He wasn't even,
Yep.
playing in the game. He was injured, and so for
Yep.
Tommy Lasorda and to call him up and say, hey, we need you to pitch it. Just it was just crazy how that whole thing developed. And yeah, Freddie, the other night, we can both definitely say we knew where we, if in the future folks ask us, well, where were you? Oh, we were at the University
Right.
football game when he hit
Right.
the first walk-off grand slam in World
Yeah.
Series history. So that
Yeah.
was
Crazy.
crazy, man. Those are some good times. I'm just hoping
Yeah.
that they continue to win, and we just can make this go ahead. And if we get this game tonight, man, it might be a sweep. We might have to bring out some brooms or something. I don't know. What you think, Coach?
Yeah. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I always say, oh, we got this, and then something happens and we lose. So,
Yeah,
like I tell my team, the game's not over till it hits zero. The series not over until the last out of the ninth inning of whatever. Hopefully game four, but.
yeah,
This I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. It's been a while since we got a full season World Series.
absolutely,
I'll take the 2021, but I want a 162 full season World Series. That
absolutely.
one means more.
Absolutely. No, it does. And it looks like they took out Walker Bueller. So that's pretty
Yeah,
dope for him to come back and do his thing. But
yeah,
anyway, man, we can sit here and talk Dodgers, but let's go ahead and talk some Pali football, man. First of all, congratulations on the win against Pali. Not against Pali, against Uni, 56-14. Now we're sitting pretty nice at 7-2 record on the season so far. So I mean, we've won 9 in a row against, including Friday, against Uni. Was there something that you were hoping that you were happy about, that you saw in this particular game against University?
Well, I challenged. I think we talked about last week, and I challenged the team. No points and no. Every time we get in the red zone to score every time, we scored every time we touched the ball. So offensive wise, I was happy that we did exactly what we should have done, what we needed to do. I think it gave our offense confidence, and it doesn't matter what team you play if you're able to execute perfectly on offense, and not shoot ourselves in the foot. After so many games, it was really good to see. We had a couple penalties where we got backed up, but we're still able to, get crucial first downs on second and long, and third and long, and able to, score anytime we wanted to. So that was good to see.
Yeah, I was really impressed again. From right off the gate, the guys. I believe they scored on their first possession again. Just making some things happen. A couple of just short passes, and I think we even had a nice little return at the opening game
Mhm.
by King Demetrius. So
Yep.
that's first thing kind of get him involved in the game with some all-purpose yardage.
Right.
So I was happy to see that, and then Jack again, almost close to 300 yards passing. I call him Mr. Consistency at this point because
Mhm.
almost 300 yards, 5 touchdown passes. He did not have an interception. And so, again, he was focused. And I think for the most part, it seems that, the guys took your challenge in terms of, and they almost got 70 points, Coach. They got
Yeah.
6, but 2 long drives by University probably hampered stalled our ability to get the ball. That way we could continue to put points on the board. So let me ask you, what was one thing that you think as a result of watching this game or coaching this game, one thing that needs to be fixed as you kind of move into senior night and then also into the playoffs?
I think our tackling, we tackle really high. We emphasized that again today at practice. Defense, I think they did tackling drills for the last hour and a half of practice. So, we're really trying to stress tackle low, wrap up. Second guy gets the ball for the turnover. But I think we just need to, we're in the right spots. We're just not making the right plays in certain moments. But, if we tackle, not be I don't want to say be afraid to tackle, but for some reason we're just tackling high, and it's not like we don't work on it. It's just when we get into a game situation, things move a little faster. So um, unless you're making it second nature, you're going to revert back to old habits. So we just got to keep repping it and teaching them to stay low. I heard the coaches down there yelling, so I know they were really getting after it today. But if we could, literally just tackle consistently, we'll be fine.
Yeah, not only were they yelling, probably today, but they were definitely yelling on Friday night because they were, even though they scored 14 points, right? They scored in the second quarter and in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, third quarter they scored their only points, but it seems like every time they had a third and long or third and mid range, number 7, he would just get the ball and run to his left, and there was no containment on the left side or wherever he ran with the ball, and so I know the coaches were very, very upset, especially once they got the first touchdown because based on what we talked about last week, you guys were hoping to not allow them to score anything, but that third and long or third and short, they just kept getting the ball and they'll pitch it back to the QB and he was just off to the races, so, and they couldn't stop him. So yeah, coaches were definitely yelling on Friday. So I know they're probably yelling today. So then again, Jack, 17 for 20, 293 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, Mr. Consistency. Again, he just seemed like he was laser focused and being able to, put the ball in the hands of where the receivers could make some plays. Talk about Mr. Consistency as if you have not talked about him enough. Contribution to this particular game and what you saw from your standpoint on Friday night.
Yeah, I just try to stress them. Take what the take what the defense gives us. You don't have to force anything. Take the short stuff. If we can open up to something long, they want to stop the short stuff, then we'll take a shot. And he's done a really good job at that. He puts us in plays where we're going to succeed. He sees the defense. He knows the playbook well enough to change the plays if something he doesn't see that's going to work. So he always puts us in a good spot where he knows guys are going to be open and he finds it. And there's also times where he just makes a tough throw. He on the third and long, I think it was second and long, he threw a post route to Max and right over a guy's head, and it was a perfect ball. So now he can move the chains with his feet. He can make the tough throws. He can scramble and extend the plays like we talked about. So he does it all. He's really a jack of all trades.
Absolutely. He's holding up to his name, jack of all trades. And then the one thing I like, we had the usual suspects. I'm over here looking at some of the stats. And so I'll just kind of read some of the stat lines for us in this contest. So Pali scored 21 points in the first quarter. Again, another 7 in the third quarter, another 21, and then another 7 in the fourth quarter. So again, 56 points. And then University was only held to 14 points, and they got all of their points in that third quarter. And then, again, like I said, the defense, seemed like they were probably a little gassed a little bit. Let me check the time of possession. Let's see where it is. I thought I had it here. Guess I don't. But yeah, it seemed like Pali had the ball less than University, despite us scoring 56 points. University, especially, I think it was the third quarter. You know, the second quarter, they just kept pounding the ball and running, and they didn't get any points, but they chewed up time on the clock, and I think we probably scored within the last minute or so of the first half, and so that was pretty dope. Despite us, being on the field for most of the second quarter, we still were able to come away with 7 points. So again. What I like to see as well is just the other team members. And so we know our usual players, Henry was able to get 2 touchdowns. I think he had like under 100 yards receiving. But then Augie was in there. You kind of used him early in the game. He 3 for 28, 1 touchdown. And then Ricardo, 2 of 15, 1 touchdown. And of course, Max Ajazi, 2 of 73 for a touchdown. So just kind of talk about using some of these different players earlier in the game instead of going to some of your workhorses that you normally go, like Harrison Carter, King Demetrius, and we kind of already talked about Henry catching 2 touchdowns. So just kind of talk about your plan to get them involved early in the football game against University.
Well, I mean, we have all kind of weapons, and it's like, why not use them? They work hard, they're capable, and for Jack to have his pick of who to throw to, you can. It's almost like you could just spin it, whatever it lands on, you're fine. So, Augie's been itching for the ball, so I really want to get him the ball early. He blocks for us. And, he's been open at times. We just haven't been able to hit it. So, you want to keep those guys happy. I play quarterback. The way to keep your receivers happy is to feed them the ball when they're working hard and open. So when you have 6 weapons that you can get the ball to at any time, you don't want to just key on 2 because the defense is going to key on those guys. We want the defense to play the whole field. So if they have to worry about King, then the next play they got to worry about Henry, then the next play they got to worry about Augie, then the next play Max, the next play Harrison, and then now you got Ricardo coming in. Now you got to worry about him, and then Deveron comes in. He's a workhorse. You can't just because he's in the backfield worry about us passing. So we really want to make the defense cover the whole field. And when you have the speed that we have, it's almost impossible to really cover the whole field like that. So we really want to spread it around and use everybody just so the defense can't key on one thing.
Yeah, and it was funny because on one of the plays, I think Jack, when he ran, I think he only, according to Max Preps, he only ran once. It was for 12 yards, but even that 12-yard run, I think I heard, the opposition say, "Man, that guy's fast."
Yeah, I remember that.
His ability to get out. If there's nothing downfield. He's like, look, let me go ahead and hop on the horse and make something happen on my own. So I was able to pull up the time of possession. So 21 minutes, 48 seconds, as opposed to Palisades, 14 minutes, 52 seconds. And like you said, we were able to kind of pick your poison, if you will. You have a whole bunch of weapons, and, you might as well go ahead and use them. And so I thought it was, very cool to go ahead and get those guys involved early in the game. And, again, it kind of opens up, the possibility of the regular guys, if they get back in or, they can catch a pass, because you already know they've already scouted you guys. They know, okay, number 4, number 6, number 1. It's like, okay, you don't know about number 2, number 23, and number 88. And so,
Exactly.
it's a good way to kind of spread the ball. So again, Harrison Carter, 10 carries for 63 yards, a touchdown. You had Deveron in there, 7 for 27. And then of course, Jack Thomas, some of our receiving, King Demetrius, 3 for 52, Max Ajazi, 2 for 73, LaHenry, 6 for 94 with 2 touchdowns. And then also Max Ajazi, I saw one place. Okay, well, he had 1 touchdown. Augie Evans, 3 for 28, 1 touchdown, and then Ricardo Martin. So you got a lot of, weapons, and you get into the playoffs. And so you want to kind of build up that confidence, I'm sure, as we kind of, move away from league play. And I know we have one game left, but you kind of want to build up their capacity and their confidence that they can catch the ball as well. And then our defense, despite several long offensive runs by the opposition, they still played hard. I'm looking at Jake Tribeck. He had 9 tackles. Let me see. Cash Allen, he was in there. Looks like 3. Braden had 8. So Nico Townsley, 7. Adrian Romero. So, you guys are still making plays, but they were just giving up the long plays, especially on their third and short, third and long, or whatever. So of course, those things have to be tightened up before you get into to league play.
We just got to find a way to get off the field. And the craziest stat of all is we didn't run a single offensive play in the fourth quarter. So that was, so if we can get our defense off the field, it'll definitely help. But I don't want to keep the offense on the field. If we can score as many times, as many points as we can, I want to do that. But, as defense, if we can, get stop them on third and longs, we can get them off the field and, we can run some plays in the fourth quarter. But we still score 7 points, which is crazy, not having offensive play.
One of the things that I was kind of happy about, and I'm just actually realizing that for the first time in a couple of games, you guys had less than 100 penalty yards.
Yeah.
So
that helps too.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and with only 8 penalties, and so I know some of them were kind of lackluster. And again, I kind of felt like on certain plays, we weren't getting the calls that we were warranted or, could have gotten. But again, you can't rely on playing against the refs and the team. You got to play against the team, and then you just have to, play your game. So, 81 penalty yards with 8 penalties. I mean, it's still kind of bad, but it's better than what we've seen in the past few games.
Right. Yeah, and we emphasize that too. Even today at practice, we just try to get them to focus. Whatever penalties we've been getting the last few games, we really emphasize it, and that's part of tackling high with the face mask penalties. Couple linemen down the field, we just really try to shore that up. The holding penalties we haven't gotten, so with Jack scrambling, we've minimized that. False starts, we're coming along. There was a PI that was not a PI that we got called. So even the ref on our sideline said that wasn't a PI. So that's 15 yards and another penalty that would have came off. So, we're working towards it. Obviously, we got a long way to go, but hopefully this week we'll clean it up and then be ready by playoffs.
Yeah, and then I guess their true freshman, William Biddle. I mean, he got lucky, but on the plays that he got the ball, he had 7 carries for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns, and 2 of those touchdowns were kind of long. It looks like on here, Max Press, they have at least a 43-yard pickup, and on one of those were the plays when you talk about containment, run off to the right or left side. I can't remember what side, but he just
left.
Yeah,
I remember.
You didn't have to say that, Coach, but yeah, I mean, so with the exception of him and his 87 yards and 2 touchdowns, I mean, again, their other player, he had six carries, 77 yards. That was Jadon Manuel, the QB. Other than that, I mean, they really didn't have a passing attack, and so. If you guys were able to stop them just on those plays alone, then, your stats could have been a little bit more padded and, the boys could have had a little bit more confidence in terms of, their overall play against University in this particular game.
Right.
Man, let me see what else. Okay. So University, I mean, it was funny just playing there this year. I mean, it was almost like Fort Knox trying to get in, on the field. I had issues. I'm like, wait a minute. I know one of the other photographers, she had issues, but the one thing I hadn't seen in a long time is, the principal being involved in the game day activities. And so that was kind of good to see. Now, What I'm not saying that it's, I'm just saying this, just being able to see this principal, because I've really never seen any of the other principals being as active as she was. I mean, and this is my whole entire Pali career. I've never seen a principal like her. So
Right.
just, being front and center, making sure things were kind of, ran along. And
Yeah.
then, we did get a win with our JV team. Now, were you
Mhm.
guys able to see the end of the JV football game?
Yeah, we got there at halftime, so we were able to see all the third quarter. They ended the game early. I think it was 40 something to nothing at that point, and then the altercation that happened. So the ref was just like, let's just end it, which was fine. You don't want anybody hurt. You don't want something further to happen. The game was out of hand. The ref told us to stop throwing the ball at that point. He was going to flag us for actually throwing the ball, which I'd never heard of. So I think he was over it too. And I, you want the kids to play as much as possible, but at the
Right.
same time, I kind of understood where he was coming from. But
Yeah, yeah.
no, it's the ref's job to really control the game and let them play. So
Absolutely.
as
Absolutely.
disappointing as it was, I understand at the same time.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I'm glad for we both teams were able to kind of avenge their loss from the week before. So that
Yeah.
was always good to see for them to bounce back, and then just kind of get back into playing football. And so again, they only JV does not have a playoff schedule.
Right.
Their final game for the JV season is this coming Friday, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, how much do you know about Hamilton, and just what kind of are they a running team, or are they a passing team? Just kind of from the tape that you've seen, what kind of team can we expect to see this coming Friday against our Dolphins?
Offensively, they do run a little bit of spread, but they also run the wishbone. So we'll see a little bit of both. They're about maybe 75-25 more spread than the wishbone. So they try to run the ball. I would say they're a step above uni as far as skill wise, and um, just kind of what we're going to see again Friday, without really talking down on them. But you never know what can happen. I always say, and if we play Pally football, everything should take care of itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think I've talked about this, before. They went up ahead of us. We were at their house one time, 28-0 going into halftime, and then whatever Coach Hyde said to the boys. I mean, they came back out and won 35-28. So it was a wonderful
Mm,
win, and so I think that's probably the closest game that I've seen Hamilton play against us.
mm,
I know a couple of years ago they had their homecoming night, and they rented lights, and it was a nighttime game, and they rented, it was just like, yeah, okay. I think they were maybe 5-0 or something like that.
mm.
But man, we just came in, and that was the season when we were undefeated until we lost into San Pedro in the semifinal football
Oh,
game.
okay.
It was we just the boys just did what they you know Savior and his friends, they just went in, and Moses and all the guys, they were just on it, and just relentless, and would not let them catch a break. And so hopefully this coming week we can see the same thing. We know what kind of team we have. We
Right.
play hard, we play
Yeah.
fast, we have a lot of weapons, and so I'm anxious to see this team come out. Hamilton, I'm saying, this team come out with a new coach, a new coaching system, and from what I understand, he's a historic coach in the
Yeah.
LA area, and Asante, right? That's his last name, Coach Asante.
Yes. Yeah.
So, hopefully he can, make some ends, and get the program turned around over there at Hamilton, but not
Yeah.
at our expense. We just want
No.
to get. I know you're just anxious to kind of get through senior night, and so what can we expect from our squad? Um, you know, being at senior night. I know we're going to honor our seniors, and
Yeah.
for the on the football team, and I think they're going to do something with the cheer as well. So just
Yeah.
kind of what can we expect, from our guys on this senior night, their final home game of the regular season before we move into the playoffs.
Well, it's always a tradition I always wanted to do, and we didn't get a chance to do it last year. But we start all the singers. I don't know if you guys, the Pally's ever done that in the past, but so all the singers are going to start. I think we have 10 on defense, and me and Coach Beck were talking today, and there's exactly an amount, like where each spot needs to be. There's a singer at each spot that can play. So I don't know if it's going to be one player, one drive, but every singer is going to start. So that's something I'm looking forward to, and hopefully they can get a whole drive and one of the singers scores for their last singer night. So that should be fun. I don't have any trick plays to run anymore, but the singers have been working hard. It's been a long season, and they deserve everything that's hopefully coming to them in senior night and in the playoffs. So should be a fun night.
Yeah, that would be have some kind of senior trick play or some kind of that would be interesting to do. But you know what? You just reminded me. Yes, we did not have a senior game last year because of that
Power
outage,
outage.
the power outage.
Yep.
Yes, and
Yeah.
everyone was upset and disappointed. So no, we've done senior nights plenty of times before, and you just reminded me. Last year we didn't have one because of the power outage, and then the funny thing is, power came back on, and we're still unable to play.
I know, right?
So I know everybody was upset,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's definitely what happened last year.
Yeah.
So I know the boys and girls will be excited to kind of have that senior recognition, and hopefully, if you're watching, come on out and pack the stands. Now, JV game is at 4:00.
Yeah, 4 o'clock against Franklin. Hamilton doesn't have a JV, so we picked up the Franklin game, and then I think the singer activity started at 6:15, and then kickoff at 7.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then it's a wonderful way to spend a Friday afternoon. And I kept telling people that once the season starts, I mean, can you believe this is week?
Five by.
Yeah, I mean, man, it just flies by so quick. And so I know our seniors, those who played hard, they're going to remember those who didn't play too much during the game. But of course, they supported the starters in practice and all that kind of good stuff. They, supported them by playing. So, either way, if you're a starter or a position player and you didn't get too much time in the season, you're going to remember this as a senior anyway, being a part of a wonderful team. And so, let's hope that we do well against Hamilton. And then, we'll come back next Monday and, we'll talk about playoff implications. Now, let me ask you, when will you find out about who we're matching up, what division, if we're playing in the open division or if we're playing in Division One? When will you find out that information?
I believe the schedule or the brackets come out noon Sunday. So I know it's Sunday, but I believe it's noon our time. So hopefully November 3rd, Sunday, 12 o'clock, we'll have all the information and send it out. Because I know I have to send our film by 8 o'clock that night. So you know, be on the phones and the computers. I'll be on mine about 11:50, just sitting there hitting refresh, waiting for it or waiting for that email. So that's when it come out, and then I'll send it out to everybody.
Absolutely. No, that's always a good anticipation to have. Either being placed in the open or in the Division One. Good stuff. So we look forward to having another wonderful night, our last league game. Now, let me ask you one final question about Western League champs. So, is there a scenario where Pally could actually, you know, become a part of or split or share in the Western League championship or title this year?
Yeah, so we can't win it outright because Venice beat Fairfax. So if Westchester beats Venice this week, it's a 3-way tie. So we're all split it.
Well,
So
split.
there's a chance, yeah.
So that would be Fairfax, Pali.
Westchester,
Okay,
Westchester, Venice, yeah.
Venice, and then us. Okay.
Right.
All right. So we'll see. We'll see
Right.
how everything boils out. And, Coach, we appreciate it, man. Final words, as always, before we close out the show.
I'm just looking forward to the last game of the season and looking forward to the playoffs. I really do think we can make a run at it this year. So, as long as we come out this week healthy, I think we'll have another 4 or 5 games left in the season. I know it went by fast. I really can't believe it's week 10 already. But I think we could have another month of this if, we stay healthy this weekend and do what we're supposed to do. So, still looking forward to ending after Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what's up, man. So again, congratulations on the wonderful season. We got one more game left, and we're not going to discount what the Hamilton Yankees can do, but we're just really believing, and we have faith in our team to kind of pull off and do what they can do, which is showcase all of their talent, all of their weapons to get the job done and get this W. So appreciate you, Coach. We'll see you on the field on Friday night. And do me a favor, just hang out in the green room, and once I close it up, we'll come back and close it out, and then we'll go watch the Dodger game. They pull it off tonight. So
sounds good.
All right, see you in a second.
All right, thank you.
Some call it the gridiron.
Nice route, way to skim it.
Others, 100.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong scene. But yeah, but listen, we are here. Appreciate Coach, just hopping on. And, like I said, we weren't going to be too long tonight. Just kind of wanted to talk about the particulars and recap that university game. I mean, wonderful win. Again, 9 in a row. We're 7-2 going into the Hamilton game, and it's senior night. So come on out and support. JV is at 4:00, and then our game, the varsity game, is at 7:00 against Hamilton, the Yankees. And so they're going to come over in their green and white. And, I should have asked Coach what colors are we wearing, but it doesn't matter. Just come on out, wear some blues, support your favorite senior. Maybe wear the opposite jersey. Whatever jerseys they're not wearing, if you're a family member, wear that other jersey. And, whether it's the white jersey or the blue, whatever, just find out what your son is wearing, and you just grab that other one and wear it as we celebrate all of the seniors on this coming Friday night. So it's going to be a wonderful game at the Stadium by the Sea. I look forward to seeing you there, and then we'll come back next Monday, and hopefully we'll be talking about the World Championship win by the Dodgers, but definitely we will talk about what is going to happen in the next season next season, what I mean playoff season. So we'll talk to Coach Smith about that, just kind of recapping some of the wonderful events that happened this past season with the boys, and looking forward to who we're playing and all that kind of good stuff. So other than that, this is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. The West Side, my voice is almost there. So hopefully by Friday, we will be at 100%. I do not have a student. That's one thing I didn't get. I didn't get an interview with one of the students this past game, but it's all good. We'll just see them Friday on the field. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Have a good evening, and as always, go Pali. Peace out.